Hey everyone, this is Tim Randall. I'm the Director of Product Management here at Milyli. And today I'm going to do a quick run through of how easy it is to create a privilege log using our application. I put together a collection of emails here that I have coded as responsive and privileged. As a part of these, I've gone ahead and I've done a first pass privilege review on these, and I've done a couple things. The first of these is that I've set up these prefix and suffix fields that when combined create a privilege description. And I've gone through and I've coded all of these documents with that. I've also ran relativity name normalization on all of these documents so that the entities can be normalized so that when we're filling out our from and to fields, they are going to be the same across the entire document set. One thing that I also want to show is the power of Chronicle and how we can use conditions to change the outcome of the privilege log without having to do complex setup or weird logic inside relativity itself. We just can take care of that with a simple field. To do that, I'm going to fill out this priv description override field, which is a field that I've set up to be used in the event that it's filled out to override what's ever been set in the prefix and suffix field. So we're just going to put something in here, sample override message. We're not going to be too complex. This can be whatever your attorney determines needs to be in this field for this case. So I'm going to save that. And then we are going to jump over to Chronicle and set up a brand new privilege log. So to get started, we're going to click New Privilege Log. First, we're going to give this log a name, just something easily identifiable. We'll call it sample log for demo. We're going to select a save search. So this is going to be the search that contains our privileged emails. Now, the cool thing about Chronicle is that this is always going to be a live search. So if new documents get identified as privileged as review is happening, this can be set up really early in the process. And then as documents get added to the save search, they're just going to be automatically appended to the privilege log. So we're going to put some columns together, and these columns are going to represent the information that's going to appear on the log. So for our first column, I'm going to do date sent, and we're going to do our two brackets and then type in sent, which gets us our date sent, add a column, and we're going to do sent from. And since this was done with name normalization, relativity populates the entity fields. So we're going to do the entity from field, and then we're going to do our recipients. And again, since this was done with name normalization, we're going to search for entity and then look for from. Our next column is going to be a little bit more complex. For the first part here, we're going to name it privilege description, and we're going to add an outcome. So for this first outcome, we're going to check on our priv override field, and we're going to check to see if that is filled out or not. If it is not filled out, then we want to concatenate our prefix and our suffix. So the way this will be evaluated is it's going to check to see if priv description override has a value. And if it does not, then it's going to use the prefix and suffix as the value for this column. Otherwise, we're going to print out the override. And then our very final column is going to be our privilege claimed. And this is just going to be however our privilege designation field was coded. So this is a very simple example. Your cases might be more complex than this and might involve additional information, but this is just an easy way to kind of get this together. My recommendation, of course, is to always set this up as early as possible within the case. So as you're moving along through the case and flagging these documents, they'll show up. The other powerful thing that we can do because of setting it up early is we can give this to our reviewers as a way of evaluating their changes and what the outcome is going to look like as they review documents. So back on the viewer, I'm going to open up a related items pane called Chronicle Document Preview. And this is going to let us pick our different privilege logs. So we'll go to the one that we just made, and we can see exactly what is on here based on the coding of the document. What's really cool about this is if I come up here and I edit the document and I remove the priv description override, save our coding, and refresh our preview, we can see that it is automatically defaulted back to our concatenated fields. By setting up the privilege log early as a part of review, our reviewers can do a single pass, make their coding, and then check what the document's going to look like on the privilege log without having to do complicated exports or go back and forth. So that's been my introduction to how easy it is to create a privilege log using Chronicle. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at support@milyli.com. And thank you so much for watching.